Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, Amari's Revenge. The goddess next door is confronted by a Nubian queen out for revenge at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in this inaugural Isis series adventure. Get your copy of Isis, Amari's Revenge in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. They say pride comes before a fall. And when it comes to most Western black women, they wind up falling because of their pride and because they are too proud to admit that things are going wrong in their lives. They remain on a course that leads them to a paradigm of failure. Now, in my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, I talk about why many black women wind up on this road to a paradigm of failure, and the reason why they wind up on this road to failure is because most of these women are too proud to admit that they are wrong. Now, pride in and of itself isn't a bad thing. It's good to have pride in your character. However, people who have strength of character can swallow their pride and admit that they are wrong. And after they admit they are wrong, they are humble enough to accept help from those who want to help them. Unfortunately, when it comes to most black women who have grown up over the last 60 years, they are too busy being proud to admit when they are wrong. And instead of them acknowledging that the course in life that they're taking isn't working, what they do is try to soldier on, trying to be strong black women. However, that strength is just a veneer, and once you peel back that facade, what you find is an insecure woman trying to stay on a course where the cause is lost, and still trying to do this, trying to show other people how much power they have. Unfortunately, when they try to show how much power they have, what they do is wind up trying to do too much, and trying to do too much because their egos are too bruised to admit, hey, this course I'm taking isn't working, but they're still going to try to make it work, even though trying to make something work that doesn't work is the definition of insanity, because you're doing the exact same thing and expecting a different result. And what many black women try to do as they go on in their course of pride is they try to go on saying that they're going to just go on. Unfortunately, as they go on, they wind up hurting themselves, and in some cases, they wind up hurting other people, like their children, because so many black children wind up suffering because many black mothers wind up filled with pride, and because they are upset at a child's father, what they do is deny that child the ability to have a relationship with that father, and deny that child the ability to get help from that father. Moreover, they go out and deny that family from coming together because they are too proud to submit to the authority of that man in God's order. No, instead of looking to submit to the authority of that man in God's order, what these black women do is go out here and continue to remain proud, saying that they would rather be a part of a welfare state or try to work all by themselves, because they are going to be the ones that do everything, and nothing will be done right unless it's done by them. But that pride keeps them from being able to get help from those who care about them and getting the support that they need from those who truly care about them. Unfortunately, because they are so caught up in their pride about trying to show everyone they can do everything all by themselves, what they don't want to admit is that the whole situation is overwhelming, because God did not mean for a man to be alone, nor did he mean for a woman to be alone and carry all of the weight. No, he meant for men and women to work together, and he meant for men and women to work together so that they could receive the abundant life that he wants for them. No, when it comes to most of these black women, because they worship the false Christ of white supremacy. They want to go out here and think they can do everything by themselves, being the strong, independent black woman, trying to be the martyr. But you don't, the whole thing is the reason why they want to be the martyr is because they're too proud to admit, hey, I'm not able to do this all by myself, and I can't do it all. But they'll sit there and try to do it all, and do this again, making themselves to be out to be a victim of something that's self-inflicted. And this self-inflicted wound winds up doing damage to black women, because instead of them receiving abundant blessings from God because they will sit there and look to do everything by themselves, they wind up missing out as related to life, because they wind up not being able to have a relationship with their husband, and they don't really work with a man who can help them build. What happens is, instead of working with a man who wants to build with them, they wind up looking to tear everything down because things aren't being built right. And what's really ironic about this whole situation is that many of these black women, they'll sit there and say that they're Christians, but they won't have any faith in God or look to have faith in the man that they got involved with to help them look to try to build things. No, instead of working with that man towards building something, what they do is work against him. And instead of them receiving what God wants to give them, they wind up missing out on everything. And they wind up missing out on everything because they're too proud to admit that you can't do it all by yourself. No, they are too proud to admit they can't do it all by yourself. And they don't trust anybody to do anything. This is another major reason why so many black women are single, is they don't trust the man that they're with to lead the household. No, they want to second guess and question everything that that man is doing, not understanding that if that man is leading your household, he's doing things for a reason, and he's doing things for your greater good. But they don't want to trust that man, and this is why their relationships fail, because they're too proud to admit that there are some things that they are beyond them. And again, this is one of the reasons why so many black women are single. This is the reason why so many black women are miserable. This is the reason why so many black women are by themselves, because they are too proud to admit that, hey, one, you're wrong about certain things. Certain things you need guidance and leadership from a man. And when it comes to life, you don't know everything, and everything doesn't revolve around you. That's another thing that leads to so many black women winding up failing in life, because they want to go out here and be the one that's in charge of everything, and they want to be the one that's in charge of everything because they feel like nobody is going to do anything right unless it's them. But that's not how things work as related to God and God's order. We're supposed to be having faith in Him. We're supposed to be trusting in Him. And the great irony is they'll tell you to trust in God, but then they'll second guess the man who is the head and the authority, who God gave instructions to. And that really shows again how many black women have filled with this pride. And again, the roots of this pride come from fear. And this pride comes from fear because they're afraid that this man won't be able to do what needs to be done, or the people in their lives won't be able to be what they want them to be. And again, this pride is the thing that leads to the downfall of many black women, and it leads to the downfall of many black families. It's the pride that these black women have, and they'll sit there and proudly say that there is no problem, even though everything is falling completely apart in their lives. And again, this pride is the thing that winds up destroying so many black families, because many black women just don't want to say, hey, I'm wrong, I made a mistake, I need to do something about things. Again, they don't want any sort of accountability or responsibility. So what they do is just stay there in their pride. And as they stay in their pride, people can't help them, people can't reach them, people can't connect with them, people can't give them what they need. I mean, people want to help black women, but you can't help black women in some cases because they are just so caught up in how proud they are. They're going to show everybody, they're going to show everybody who they are, and again, try to show you, and again, all you're showing people is that you just are just too arrogant to listen to anyone. And again, this arrogance and unwillingness to work with other people, this is what makes it where many people don't want to have anything to do with black women, because oftentimes they don't respect black people and especially black men. And because they don't respect black men, they don't cooperate with black men and work with them. And because they don't respect black men enough to cooperate with them, it makes it impossible for that man to look to try to build with that black woman. And that's the big problem with a lot of black women. They don't really see how their whole pride is keeping them from moving forward, because God made it for men and women to work together, and a man and a woman who are working against each other can't really work towards the abundant blessings that God has for them. No, they can't work against each other and achieve anything, because if he's trying to build and you're tearing down, or he's tearing down and you can't even build, because again, you're just not your natural, woman's natural ability, you're not going to have anything but ashes. And the reason why the black community is in ashes primarily is due to black female pride. And it's black female pride that is basically leading to the fall of generation after generation, because black females are just too proud to admit that they can't do anything without a man. And as they try to stay the course of being strong and independent and not needing a man, what happens is they wind up on a course where they wind up going nowhere again, generation after generation. Now, if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to pick up some of my books on the SJS Direct imprint, like the ISIS series, the Steam series, the John Haynes series, the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, my Black Vampire novel, Night, Eternal Night, the Black Sorority novel, The Thetas, and my Black Business novel, Recipe for Success, you can find all those books on Amazon.com and other online booksellers like Barnes & Noble, Draft the Digital, the iBookstore, Google Play, and even big box retailers like Walmart and Target. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, E-Steam Horror of the Hyena Woman. Hell's Aspiring Angel takes on a wicked werewolf in this action-packed all-new E-Steam series adventure. Get E-Steam Horror of the Hyena Woman in paperback and e-readers today. Now available for the first time in paperback, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single. Learn all the reasons why so many black women can't find a husband and why 70% of black women are single. Get your copy of Why 70% of Black Women Are Single on Amazon.com today. Support black-owned and black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.